Welcome back, my dark minions, to the WTF news. Anime slash gaming. Yeah, that's right. Anime slash gaming. This is one of the rare ones. And we're back to we're back to this. It's been a while since I did one of these, but just to let you know, actually, should I even? You don't know. No, that's gaming is basically how I describe it. Since it has some things. I'll work on it. Before I know it's animation and gaming, anime and gaming, sorry. If you're confused about what this series is, basically I have three different versions. I have one that's dedicated to anime, I have another that's dedicated to gaming, and there's the rare one with both gaming and anime, basically. And let's see, and the WTF news is about me reporting on the things I've heard of, and other people who have reported on this. Is just a back channel. This segment is just about me trying to gather up all the news I can and basically just send it out. Basically, signal boost it. I'm just here to signal boost it. I'm not here to take any credit. I just want to help spread the word along. Alright? And today we'll be talking about basically this news I saw from Noble of Lost Pause and how manga and anime have taken over, or actually outselling, the comic book industry. Now, and just to let you know, you confused, hey, why is this gaming anime? Well, basic gaming is basically, I use that for, basically what I describe for our side, because we do sometimes use freaking comic books to inspire our games over here, basically, which is why I'm combining it. I'm still working on it. I may just leave anime with comic books and manga, but hey, right now, I'm still a work in progress. But either way, yes, so what's been happening is that Demon Slayer has now been outselling the comic books industry by 82 million or 81 million. I can't remember. But either way, that's rough estimate that I think about. And just let you know that I will be going over a certain part of Noble's video that basically he didn't add into it, which basically I think he should have said something about this. And I will be leaving the rest of it out because I wanted just to add this into that part of the video. I think you'll know what I'm talking about during it. But yeah, he doesn't. I'm not just adding this. I don't know if you will, by the way. Yeah, so he talks about how basically how manga and anime have taken over, or started to take over a lot of stuff. How it started to take over mainly a lot of the industry. But he doesn't add in the animations. How basically the comic book industry, well, DC and MCU universe have not been doing anything at all to try to boost their comics, to try to help out. The only thing we've seen is the movies, which is the only thing keeping them up, and which is where I think anime and faking manga have the advantage. Have the advantages because you see constant amounts of basic manga and anime being pushed out constantly. Anime, if a manga becomes popular, the anime gets to the next scene. That's the logical. It's the next part. It's also, I have a fan in the background, just to let you know. So that's what's happening. So that's what the noise coming out. Which is why I think that, that's why the comic industry is basically getting outsold right now. Just to let you know, the estimate is 50 million. That's the estimation. Sorry. It's just so big here that it's just messing up my word. 50 million supposedly and estimates. That's estimations, but still 81 million. That's still a lot more than what's been going on here. And I may have that wrong too. By the way, like I said, anime has literally been coming after. When a manga gets popular, basically, logically, it's just that you're hearing any skips because my audio is not working right now. But like I said, you see so much animation. If a manga gets popular, anime. It's basically natural order over in Japan, and so on and so forth. It's basically constant over there. And I think I'm having a skip here, so if you're hearing skipping audio, I am so terribly sorry. But yeah, that's basically what's been happening. Yeah, but over here in the East, basically in the States, DC and MCU haven't been done any animations, and basically since the last one I've seen in a long, it may be different for you guys because you may have seen an animation recently and not just recently, but because the last one I've seen was Batman the 3D version where Alfred's like all buff. That's the one I've seen it. That was the last one I saw. And more likely you guys have been seeing that the last one you saw is probably either Teen Titans, Static Shock, or any of the ones that came out during the 2000s and 90s. And just to let you know, you guys may have seen one recently. I'm just letting you know that that's the last one I saw. And that's what my prediction that you guys saw as well. And also, I have a different service provider, so your service provider may let you see all the other channels that have the animations where they're putting on. And I have a different service provider. I have Xfinity. That's what mine is. Maybe having all the channels, but of course that's expensive, and not all of us have the basically bank account to support that lifestyle. But either way, that's basically what I think. It's because since the MCU and DC universe haven't been putting up that much animation, for all I know, they may be putting up some right now that I haven't seen recently, because like most of the time I'm on my computer, looking up YouTube. I'm not on my computer to look up YouTube. I use my TV to look up YouTube, basically, and I've seen so much entertainment on there, but I haven't seen any animations, and I haven't heard anything at all. I mean, I've been searching sometimes, and there's been some notable people who have basically who are fans of the MCU and DC who have said that there hasn't been any talks about it. There may be some, but not all. Maybe there may be one recently. I don't know, but that's mainly what I think the comic book industry is suffering right now, is because they don't put up that much animation. They constantly reboot the series, which Noble says in his video, but they also don't bother trying to, elevate it by getting more animation. I mean, anime constantly comes out with the moment a manga gets popular, and they sometimes get another season to that if it stays popular, which is unfortunate, which I think they should just keep making the series anyway. And but over here in the States, where MCU and DC are more popular, it's only the movies that get popular, but the comics don't basically have anything besides the movie. And once you're done with the movie, that's it. You go look up the comic, and then that's about it. After that, what else is there reason to do? I mean, there's no animation. You have nothing to occupy your time. And after that, what's really the point? I mean, manga and anime are constantly out there. Well, comic books have not been having any animation at all. I remember when back in the 2000s and 90s that basically you would see so many animations of Batman, Superman, the Justice League, and also Static Shock, which I wish they bring back, because he's for some reason not being pushed back in the wayside, which I think he should, because he's a really good character to political means, which I hate that. Don't do that. Create a new character if you're planning to do that. It's idiotic if you think about it. But either way, yeah, it's really, really weird how we have that animation does not have any foothold over here, and the only foothold here is basic anime manga, which is basically ruling everything right now. I mean, it's popular around the world. And tablet chat, no time. I mean, Trixie, please. This is serious. Please hold your conversation later. All right, back to the topic at hand. Yeah, like I said, there's really no reason to not look at anime and manga, because, like I said, that's constant. That's always around, and you have so many of them to watch and read. Comic books don't have anything besides the comics. And there's way so much information on there that you more likely just look up the information on a video on YouTube or on Reddit or anywhere just to see the information, what the story is. Well, and that's basically right, because there's so much information. It's just in reboots, it's just so much constant. Well, manga and anime basically sometimes have constant versions, but they always new ideas for the continuation of the series. And that's the problem. And unfortunately, there's no animation, so they're focusing on the comics and movies, but they're not focusing as much on animation. And like I said, I have not seen any animation yet. I mean, there are some channels that I've seen that back in the day, where I haven't seen back in the day. Oh my gosh, that's like freaking 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, where I used to have the channels before I canceled them because it was getting way too expensive. Like I said, you have a different service provider. I have a different one. Depending how you upgrade your packages, you may have some, I may have some as well. Just to let you know. But either way, it's just you don't constantly go watch them, and once you're done, you gotta wait like days or weeks just to get them. But there is still reruns of them, but there's only so much reruns can do before people start getting bored with them. I mean, there needs to be fresh new ideas. There needs to be new animations. I mean, DC and MCU needs to freaking decide whether or not to just keep making movies and making comics and just leave out the animation, or add animation somehow into that formula, so that way they can constantly keep pumping out animations. Unfortunately, there have been, and the only ones, the longest one I've seen was the Justice League. Sorry, was the one that's the, and which that went on a long time, and then after that, into the forefront. If the MCU and the DCU you want to basically have their comic books be selling off the shelves, they need to provide animation alongside it. I know I've been repeating this the whole time, but this is what I think needs to happen. Manga has anime to basically take advantage of, to constantly keep, because once you see the anime, you want to see how did they change the manga. And they read the manga, they look up the anime. Basically, it goes back and forth. Comic books don't have that, and only have the movies, and the movies can only take you so far before you stop watching it altogether. There needs to be animation. There needs to be a constant stream of animation for people to watch. They can't just keep the animation off the table. Not to mention, they need to make it so that people who don't have a service provider or don't have the funds to get like regular cable, or even like have the have enough money to like support their lifestyle, they need to put it on the regular cable channels, and so that people can look at them and see them. And when I mean cable channel, I mean the ones where you're able to have cable, right? And are paying for a service provider. But they can't just keep constantly putting premium animation on premium channels. Not all of us have the money, have the funds to support that kind of lifestyle. They need to put it on the regular service package, so that people are able to watch it. But of course, ratings are in factor, and obviously, if the ratings not good, they would not provide any resources, which is a shame, because it doesn't mean, just because it doesn't have enough ratings doesn't mean there are not a certain amount of people watching it. I mean, that the show stays alive because people still watch it, not because of how many ratings. But either way, like I said before, animation is the key for comic books to be constant here. Well, manga is already ahead of the comic books because anime is existing. See the difference here? Comic books don't have anything besides movies, and that movies can only take them so far. They need to add animation into the formula. Animation is what's gonna help people like get interested into the series. I mean, there's a lot of things that Noble says that I agree with, that it's basically, yeah, there's too much information, there's too much reboots, they keep changing the characters for an agenda, and blah blah. But he also makes good points on it. And I do like, just let you know, blah blah thing doesn't mean I hate it. I love the guy. But either way, then there needs to be information here. That way people who watch the animation can go and look up the comic books and go read them themselves. See how these series work, where the source material is. Or heck, like I said, they can make, and they don't need to make copies of the comic book, like make an animation copy from the comic. They can make their own version, like what they did with the Justice League, where they made their own animation. I think they made their own animation for that, or to basically create their the new genres. It's good. The comic book industry needs animation. It can't just constantly rely on the movies anymore. And obviously the movies are taking over. They're constantly basically making more money there, but it's only a matter of time before anime finds a way to basically get up there in the movie industry and make it so they're more popular. There needs to be a way for animation to be here. Alright, that's about it. That was my rant, and how basic animation is the key for comic books to help out. Now, I did leave out the rest of Noble's video information that I got from, because I want you guys to look up that video and see his side, where he basically talks about everything else. I just wanted to add this because he didn't talk about this, so I'm decided to talk about it myself, because I think that animation is what needs to basically happen here. Animation needs to become making a comeback for the MCU and the DC universe. Like I said, I don't know if there's any animations of those out right now. For all I know, there might be. But like I said, there needs to be more out there. They need to bring back the 90s and 2000s amounts of freaking animation here. There needs to be animations. Anime is already taking the foothold for manga. Comic books don't have a foothold in the animation industry. There used to be a lot, but they need to get them out now. Alright. Well, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the WTF News Gaming and Anime. Well, Anime and Gaming. You will see this up. Just to let you know, I'm still working on my experiment. Hopefully it works. If not, then I may just put something else up, just to let you know. And my hours are weird this week, so yeah, you may not see, you may only see today and later on in the week, hopefully. But either way, hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment down below if you think animation is the key to help comic books up and running. To get up and running and getting their comic book sales up, and or not, or if there's something else that you think needs to happen. And also tell me about this how Demon Slayer is taking over the helping manga get sold over there. Sorry I haven't said that name in a while, but also I can't. Also, just to let you know, Demon Slayer, I'm talking about Doom Slayer. That's who I'm talking about here, people. Of course, we all know what the real thing. But yeah, like I said, sorry if I have to talk about the name there, but of course, I was mainly trying to add this into the mangas because, of course. By the way, yeah, so like I said, look up the video. I will leave the link down below for you to go to Noah's video so he can explain the other sections of the video where I left out, because I only wanted to add how animation needs to happen for the MCU and DCU universe. So right now, comment down below, subscribe to join my Dark Army, press the bell next to the subscribe button to be notified whenever my videos come up, or just come to my video every once or twice a week to see if I uploaded or not. And also share the video, because I really want this to spread around, because this kind of thing is basically needs to be spread out. Also, sorry that this video was a little bit longer than my usual videos, but I just need to let out that 2 cents of mine. And yeah, I got nothing else. So for right now, my dark beings dismissed.